what's going to be the source of the possible crisis? How does it occur? How does it build? What are the indicators that you might be dealing with? Then you look at what's the risk of it occurring versus the probability that it might occur. It could be a high risk but a low probability, or the reverse, and then you need to figure out and prioritize, because we'll get to it in a minute, but guess what? Then you start figuring out cost versus impact, because that's going to drive everything. The money that it's going to take to get through it versus be able to prepare for it ahead of time to mitigate it, to bring those costs down to a manageable level. That's what you want to do. And then you sit down and you say, how can I devote the resources and training for my organization, my business, my industry to be able to survive it? Because when you really look at it, everybody is resource constrained. You always want this much money to be able to deal with a potential crisis. This is what you can afford to give them. This piece right here is called risk. And that's where you look at it and say, how much risk are we willing to accept in order to get through that? Then you start building the plans for doing it. You sit there and you look at organizing, you assess them, you develop them, you test them, and then you do a feedback loop and say, how did that work? The reason you do these is not because any crisis that's going to occur is going to follow exactly down this list, but what you're actually training yourself and the people that work for you to do as the leaders in the industry is develop the critical thinking skills so that when it does occur, it's second nature. You know how to work through it. You know what you've got to deal with it. You got the steps down and how you're going to work with it.